Arsenal are reportedly ready to cash in on a number of their first-team squad players in order to fund a mammoth £80 million transfer bid for Thomas Lemar. But how much can Arsene Wenger realistically expect to make? It has been suggested that as many as 8 names could be heading for the Emirates Stadium exit, with some who'll be more missed than others as Wenger embarks on a potentially risky clear-out. Arsenal are known for their struggles with injuries year after year, and often find their lack of squad depth their undoing towards the end of a long campaign, so should each of these 8 really be heading out, Wenger seems determined to make a bid for Lemar work, and there's no doubting the Monaco winger's quality after 14 goals and 14 assists in his club's superb title-winning campaign last term. The clear-out may have already begun as Wojciech Szczesny's move to Juventus for a reported £10 million has been confirmed, so how much can they get for the rest of their dead wood? Here's a look at who's set to leave and how it could help Arsenal's bid for Lemar. While it's not yet clear if he definitely will, Olivier Giroud has suggested he's keen to do so. Having started only 11 Premier League games last season, it's easy to see why he feels the signing of Alexandre Lacazette up front means he has to look elsewhere for the playing time he wants ahead of next summer's World Cup. Everton and West Ham initially looked the main contenders, while there was some talk Lyon could land him as part of the Lacazette deal. Latest reports have seen him linked with Borussia Dortmund in their bid to replace Chelsea target Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. How much can they get for him? There's been plenty of speculation about him, and his value has been tipped as being anywhere between £20–35 million. For balance, £25 million seems fairly realistic in today's market, and would represent a good deal for Arsenal, who signed him for around £10 million 5 years ago. Having lost his place in Arsenal's midfield after years of injury problems, Jack Wilshere was loaned out to Bournemouth last summer. As he didn't particularly impress in his stint with the Cherries, it's hard to imagine he's set to be a regular for the Gunners now. There doesn't appear to be huge interest in the Premier League at the moment, with Serie A side Sampdoria linked as surprise contenders for the 25-year-old's signature. If Arsenal do enter into talks over his sale, expect previous suitors such as West Ham to step up their interest again. How much can they get for him? Not a lot, apparently, with current reports estimating that he'd bring in around £9 million. While that seems ridiculous in a market where Kyle Walker can cost £50 million, it does indicate just how far his stock has fallen in recent times. Another of Arsenal's returning loanees, Callum Chambers, just hasn't shown that he's up to standard in recent times. Despite a bright start when he joined from Southampton in 2014, the young defender now faces increased competition for a place after an underwhelming loan at Middlesbrough last season. Chambers has been linked occasionally with a return to former club Southampton, but latest speculation sees Crystal Palace emerging as the favourites for his signature. How much can they get for him? Palace are said to have offered £16 million for the 22-year-old, and that seems pretty generous. Arsenal should take the money and run. Like Giroud, he didn't play as much as he would have liked last season and now faces even more competition up front. With a Spain place for next summer's World Cup up for grabs, Lucas Perez knows he'll have to look elsewhere for regular first-team football. The 28-year-old had initially been linked with a move back to his former club Deportivo La Coruña, but more recent rumours have seen him emerge as a target for Sevilla. Wherever he ends up, La Liga seems his most likely destination. How much can they get for him? Signed for £17 million just last summer, Arsenal would hope to get something close to that this year. Though being realistic, it's hard to see clubs being so desperate that they'd pay any more than around £10 million for him. He's a decent player and arguably deserves more than the mere 26 Premier League appearances he's made in the last 2 seasons. With an England place not entirely out of the question for next summer's World Cup, he'll need regular football next season to put himself in contention for the World Cup. A flurry of lower mid-table clubs have been linked with him so far this summer, with Crystal Palace, Watford and now West Brom thought to be leading contenders for the 27-year-old. How much can they get for him? There's been talk that Arsenal were holding out for as much as £17 million for the left-back, but clubs balked at that fee and would surely only pay as much as £10 million for him at this point. Offering little more than banter, it's never been entirely clear why Carl Jenkinson ended up at Arsenal in the first place, and for the last couple of years it's been a constant surprise to remember he's actually still there. Newcastle were linked with the 25-year-old right-back earlier in the summer, but it's been pretty quiet since then, as one would expect. Really, how much can they get for him? It's hard to know in today's market, but one would expect £3 million is the absolute maximum. Still, when chasing big names like Lemar, every little helps. Like Jenkinson, Matthew Debussy is totally out of the picture for Arsenal and has looked set for an inevitable exit for some time now, though it may finally come. League One outfit Nice are said to be edging closer to a deal for the forgotten French right-back, who has played just 13 league matches for Arsenal in 3 seasons on their books. How much can they get for him? It's not clear yet if Arsenal will even receive a fee, with some reports stating they're willing to let the 31-year-old leave on a free, but that's because they can realistically only expect about £2 million for him. By our calculations, that's £73 to 75 metres for those 7 players, which could be great business if it helps Arsenal land Lemar from Monaco. Giroud seems the only player the club could really miss next season, with his impact from the bench last term showing his quality when given the chance, with his height and presence in the box making him a great option to aim at when chasing a game. Still, if contract troubles Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil can be persuaded to stay, and with Lemar added alongside Lacazette in a new-look attack, Wenger will have significantly upgraded on his options in that area last season. More, have Arsenal just given a youngster Nacho Monreal's squad number?